right, we're still watching the program this morning on ITV. It's now time for us to do the protest that happened yesterday, the continuation from what you just saw. Well, from our Dominion First Studio, right here in Abuja, we will be looking at it also from the eyes of a legal practitioner in Barrister. So me, I am a very good morning to you, Barrister.
Thank you. And how are you?
Well, we're doing very good. I want to take you right from the restriction of protest. The police, let's begin from there. You are a lawyer, and the police have claimed that there was a restriction order restricting protesters to particular areas. I don't want us to start going back to the reason for this protest, but we'll look at that in the course of the discussion. Of course, from what we saw yesterday, force was used to ensure that these protesters were restricted to particular areas. As a legal practitioner, what is the right process of informing protesters if you don't have a right to go to particular area, if you claim you have a court order restricting movement to certain infrastructure areas, just like what the police claim? That's exactly why we saw that here when the protest is done.
Well, the truth of the matter is that there was no restriction order, or there was no order.
They had an expertise order.
No, the expertise order they have was the court asked them to go and put the other party on notice. Go and put them on notice, therefore, it cannot be hard. It cannot be hard. So when the court say, go and put the other party on notice, in other words, I want two of you to come and argue. At the end, the court will take a decision. That has not been done. They told police that to them that is a judgment. They've gotten a judgment, and that's why they now do the restriction order. In the peaceful protest, there is no restriction order. Peaceful. It was not violent. The people were not carrying any arms, any gun to suggest people's shops or offices were not destroyed. It was just a peaceful with a grey card. They released me on the card and they were just moving on the street. It was a peaceful protest. So when they say there was a restriction order, there was no restriction order. That's the truth of the matter.
How do you now explain that show of force by the police? There was some restriction, even those who have no business going to the protest venue were restricted from movement.
Well, the Constitution, as far as I'm concerned, Constitution Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, look, allow for peaceful assembly. Section 41 related to freedom of movement. So there was no, what I saw yesterday was a show of shame. I was thinking that this country will still have hope. For what happened yesterday, I gave up. There's no hope again. I gave up. The police who are supposed to protect you are the one attacking you. What do you call it? And nothing happened. For them, they are doing their normal work. What kind of work are you doing? What kind of job are you doing? The people were not violent. They were just marching on the street. The government is telling us, look, don't get angry. Whatever we do, take it. Hook, line, and sinker, which is bad. I give up. I know that this Tinubu government will not bring anything to the table.
Now we are being a better way of going about it. Since you said the case was not hard, you were supposed to serve the protester. Look, this is a court order. Don't you think the conveners would have waited for the courts to decide before going ahead with the protest?
The police approach or the government approach the court. The court experte, motion experte. Experte means you and the judge. That's the name of experte. Now, the court in his wisdom said, look, after looking at the whole thing, say, okay, put the other party on notice. Those people want to, yes. If they did not do, what should they did not do? All they needed to do to put them on notice, serve them. So if you have not served anything, I'll go with my peaceful protest. It was a peaceful protest. It was a fundamental right. It's a, the court cannot even take it away from you. It is a fundamental right. You government owes you. It's a fundamental right. So you're not begging anybody. I can't beg anybody to have a peaceful protest. If, for example, the government gives any policy I don't like, I can go peacefully. Peacefully. Look at the language. Peacefully, not forcefully. I can go as okay. You go to a placard and say, what the government has done, I don't like it. And that's all. And the government, if they're listening to the government will hear me and say, oh, you don't like it. Or give me reason why this thing must be like that. But so far, so good. What are we protesting? What are we say release somebody who has been paying for almost 7 years? You want to kill a man there? What has he done?
But you know, just like you mentioned now, you may not be too familiar with the reasons why the government is keeping you download of a different court judgment that's actually freed him from the High Court down to the Appeal Court. And the government went to the Supreme Court and challenged that same judgment. And to in fact, we went back to the Federal High Court. Just take us through the journey so far, why he has been persecuted for this.
See, of course, we know that the Buhari government arrested him in Kenya and forcefully brought him back to Nigeria and kept him for a long time. They were doing that shenanigans called trial with Honorable Justice Binta Wanko. At the end of the day, the appeal court, the Nnamdi Kanu team appealed. And the appeal court said, look, this man has not committed any offense. Release him. They rushed to Supreme Court. Now we are not back to Federal High Court again. And the question I ask, looking at the whole scenario of this trial, what has Nnamdi Kanu done? Nnamdi Kanu, look at the offense. Nnamdi Kanu has not done anything. You can charge a man of anything. But can you prove it? For how many years? You will not be able to prove that charge. For how many years? And when I said, okay, this could be a political trial, let us look at it politically. What is it that agitation for his people? And that's all. Nnamdi Kanu did not carry any arms, did not attack anybody, nothing. Nobody died. And the bandits in the north are being negotiated. Also the pictures, when they have a meeting, you see a bandit with a weapon, sophisticated weapon. And they are being negotiated, sitting in a round table, and they are negotiating on how to drop their arms. Nnamdi Kanu never carried a pin. Yet, you kept him. The recent pardon, people who were dealing on drugs, he said he should go free. A woman that killed her husband in the broad daylight, he said, go free. What do you call it? And you still keep Nnamdi Kanu. And people will not agitate just because Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man. That's all.
If we are taking that, I know there are other instances where the government has been bringing up issues. But if you look at what is happening in the Southeast, we have the cases of the sit-at-home where it was alleged that is one of the mercenaries where we have persons sitting at home. There are insecurity also in the Southeast, perpetrated by allegedly by some members of the IPOB group. And now these are some of the reasons government is looking at saying we just have to get a solution before we know where to go about it. What do you call the situation happening in the Southeast where some persons cannot go about their businesses simply because somebody somewhere is saying, look, sit at home against your own rights and the Constitution?
So what is happening in the Southeast? Let me just make it open. The government of the day, the Tinubu government, is fueling what is happening in the Southeast. If you are not fueling what is happening in the Southeast, all you need to do is to okay, who is this man? Nnamdi Kanu, sit with him, agree with him, release him. If Nnamdi Kanu is released today, all the problem in the Southeast will come to an end. One, there will not be sit at home every Mondays again. People will go to their normal businesses. But keeping him, this is the agitation. People are saying, no, why are you keeping our leader? Why are you keeping our leader? Release him. That's why people they use every Monday as a way of protest, if you like. So okay, release him. Until the government refused to release him, the government is indirectly following what is happening in Southeast. I am too sure. I challenge the government. They have the hands behind it. Look at some of the Southeast political leaders. People like this man, I don't want to use a common language, I would have called him an investor, the deputy speaker.
You have to be very serious.
Yes, I have to be civil, but let him check. He's a lawyer. I'm a lawyer too. Let's go to court. Apart from coming to his police to harass me, that's the highest he can do. Telling people not to come out for peaceful protest. That they will be killed. They will be killed. They will be killed. Why should we use that language? They will be killed. They will be killed. Who died yesterday? Apart from the tear gas, the police attacked the citizens, telling people not to come out. So the political leaders, those who follow me and Tinubu, they have a lot to gain. You know that when Nnamdi Kanu come out, the masses will listen to Nnamdi Kanu, and that's why they don't want Nnamdi Kanu to come out.
Well, why do you think the masses will want to listen to you? If you look at all the allegations, even though some of them were tried by the courts, but like you rightly mentioned, if it's released, there will be peace in the South. It means that something government is holding him back. Can there be other solutions apart from having people sit at home, having people carry guns and things themselves in South?
Like I said, if Nnamdi Kanu is released, the masses, as even as in prison or detention, the masses love him. They are right. What is Nnamdi Kanu? The man is agitated. Equal treatment. Treat the South is the way you are treating other region. Okay, now as I speak to you now, how many ministers do you have? You have only one. Yes.
You have two.
Okay. This one has. You know what happened? I don't know whether they have replaced him. Okay, has not been replaced. And I'm sure at the end of the day, Tinubu will replace him with a Yoruba man. It will happen. So we have only one minister, and we are saying no. The constitution says there shall be one minister from each state, and we have one. We have 5 states. We have only one. They will my. That's all. Please go that minister for the South. And we are saying no. Areas of appointment. Let us use federal character for appointment. When you give A, give C, people will be happy. And that's all. We're not for it to say it. You not show it, manifestly show it that I don't like this particular region. Tinubu does not like the Southeast. He knows. He doesn't pretend.
So what do you say about this call for the state of the transition? And that's where most persons are looking at.
Let me look at it. Let me tell my brother on the issue of that state of Biafra. Negotiate with it politically. Yes, somebody call for Oduduwa. What happened? Is he under detention? I can't pronounce his name very well. You call for state of Oduduwa. What happened to him? He went to the Republic and he came back. Is he not walking in the street of Nigeria? Then why is Nnamdi Kanu on? I'm sure the government has negotiated with Igboho. That's why it's no more agitated. Do the same thing with Nnamdi Kanu. I will share with him. Sit in a round table and we agree. And that's why I so much love this our former president, late Yar'Adua. I may so rest in peace. I keep on crying for that man every day. If it is that man, if it is him, he would have called Nnamdi Kanu to a round table. And
I think the government has not done that.
The government
defense team with the
they have not done that.
Present its defense.
They have not done that. All they want to use the court to silence him, and that's all. They've not done that. They refuse to do it. He said, how would they do? People cannot sit with him. You can't sit with him. You have to sit with him. If you have sat with Nnamdi Kanu, sit one-on-one. Treat him like a fellow Nigerian. One-on-one. I said, what is the problem? Okay, this area will look into it, this area will look into it, this area is not negotiable. And at the end of the day, you agree. Nnamdi Kanu is a human being. And at the end of the day, it's okay, I agree. And there will be peace, particularly in the Southeast. to make kidnapping and the rest. It was for us to even go home. We from the southeast to go home. We can't go home. I don't know the last time I went home. Because of what? Issue of kidnapping. But if this internet is released, it will bring the issue of insecurity in the southeast will be reduced to the barest minimum. I can assure you that.
So what area of solution should we be looking at now? We talked about political building on the round table. What other issues, since we've not been able to address it in the judiciary, how do we begin to look at other options?
Like I said, first of all, the government should look at should balance the equation. I accept reintegrate the southeast as part of Nigerian society.
But there's never a time that the government said
when we are being you have to
president travel to the Eastern
commission what? Commission which project? Which project is he commissioning? He didn't initiate any project. He did what is the doing again. Let's forget about that shenanigans. If the president wants the southeast, if there's no peace in the southeast, we address that issue of marginalization. We address that issue. Raising them the Kanu, I can assure you, you go to southeast peacefully. You walk in the street of southeast without any problem. But so long as that marginalization is there, appointment of the southeast, you get it, you leave it, and continue with the people to be who you claim to be Nigerians. Then there will be no problem.
We'll go on a quick short commission break all the time. I feel like this moment might see continue. Alright, we're still watching the program this morning on ITV, and we're looking at the aftermath of yesterday protest in the York City, and we have genuinely one of the organizers of the who participated in the protest, Ajay Achi, is joining us to share insight to what happened yesterday. Very good morning to you.
A very good morning to you. Thank you for having me.
Before you joined the stage, I was asking Barrister, yesterday we saw restriction where the police said that's how you were right there with you. Can you give us an insight of where we are?
It's unfortunate. You know, what happened yesterday is not an act of rebellion, but Nigerian citizens exercising their right as guaranteed in the 1999 Constitution to peaceful assembly, peaceful expression, peaceful association, you know, to demand to press their demand to the executive, to the authority, especially with regards to issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that have, you know, caused a lot of economic losses, insecurity, and what have you, especially in the southeast. It's unfortunate that a government that benefited from benefited from protests, like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who led Nadeko in the military days, can be seen to try to suppress decent voices, can be seen to tear gas protesters in a barbaric manner. Is unfortunate to say the least. And it's against
about the reason the police gave that they were caught restraining order that you should not get close to some particular areas like the Villa, the National Assembly, and other areas that were specified.
The arrests made yesterday, or the tear gas, was these arrests done in the Villa? Areas like Otako, Apo.
So there were no
to even to start, there's no order on earth that is revealed that will not be consistent with fundamentals in life. Just like you ask somebody not to cry, that's court to give order that you must not cry. Morally, politically, psychologically, there's no reason for what happened yesterday. There's no reason. In fact, what I expect a very responsive government to do is to usher in a superior argument to whatever that we are presenting. To bring a superior argument to whatever ideology that maybe the perceived Nnamdi Kanu is pushing. And not this act of suppression that is condemnable in any space or any angle you look at it. Those arrested yesterday, what are they going to be charging them this morning? I understand that they will be arraigning them this morning. Is it unlawful assembly? Just tell us. None of them were the peaceful, of course, you guys witnessed it, you were in the field with us. Was the protest violent? Did you obstruct another person's right of movement or what have you? It was very, very civil and peaceful. The only thing that police have to do, authority have to do, is to protect protesters or guide them on the movement and not to suppress them. The level of tear gas I perceive this, I have never seen that type in my lifetime. I have been in protest both in the military days and the previous activities, but the kind of suppression we saw yesterday, I lack words to express it.
But you are aware of the charges against the government is using to on I don't want to call it prostitution this time. They are still in court. Remember the case of the Supreme Court has gone back to the High Court. Now, before you came in, Barrister was talking about the political solution. That's what we are looking for now. How do we begin to find an end to this?
And that is what we are advocating. In fact, you know, there's this African adage that says that when you carry the man body at another person's corpse, it will look like a log of wood. You understand? Yes. When there is life, there are chances that people will err. There are chances that people will offend. What we need in our country for progress, for progression, is reconciliation. The continuous trial of Nnamdi Kanu for more than 10 years simply showed that it's victimization and not even trial. Similar circumstances we saw in Finland earlier this year with the likes of Simeon Ekpa. We saw how they handle it. In less than 6 months, they delivered a judgment. But a trial that you have seen that have lasted more than 10 years shows you the realities on ground. As of today, Nnamdi Kanu is not only person or activist that is demanding secession out of Nigerian system. We had the likes of Sunday Igboho. We saw how he was treated. In fact, even in the case of Sunday Igboho, there was a time, sometime 2023 May, that it was reported that some of the secessionist group entered the radio station, seized it for more than 1 hour, and make announcements. Have we seen anybody being persecuted? These are some of the things you ask yourself. You go to the other side of the country, northern part, you see body-wielding men entering into negotiation or discussion with the government, going for parties and weddings. He got to tell you that what is good for the good is no longer good for the gander. It because what they express in the animal form that all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the others. You can't continue in a system that is very unjust to some people and just for others. We are demanding for political solution. Few months ago, in August 10, precisely, I escaped from non-government in Okigwe. If not for my 8th mother, which I used as a defense mechanism, and God helped me. I told them that she was very sick and rushing her home, and they saw it. I would have been in the 20s. Perhaps they may have killed me in the same reason for agitation. So since they started this,
one man agitation for one man because this chaos or insecurity was seen in the Southeast.
You see, as of today, you go to Southeast. The one man you are talking about is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has followership of over 70% of the Southeasterners, more than any other leader they have in that region. How do you control such a thing? He has publicly made it clear that he condemns whatever that is happening. Criminals are using as basis to declare sit at home, to perpetuate crime, to kidnap, to do whatever. And he has said this oftentimes. Release them. And I believe that if you release him now, they can, even if under any condition, most of these security that are facing in Southeast will go for more than 80%, if not 90%. Rather than every month you spend billions of naira that you are using to pursue security in the Southeast. Because one singular act can put an end to all of this. You recall that some years ago, we faced similar thing with Zazaki. When the Nigerian government incarcerated Zazaki, we continue to advocate they continue to hold him. At the end, we are lost, including the Deputy Commissioner of Police here in Abuja. A journalist was shot at the Beggar roundabout. At the end of the day, they later released the man. Please return.
So we are advocating they should release Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally.
Okay, I know because of time we will not be able to go beyond this very segment with you, Kachi. Apologies, I know because of the note.
Yes.
But Vice, as we wrap up this segment, it made mention of those who were arrested. What were they arrested for? And nobody knows they were not arrested because they protested and they were arraigned today. What should we
at least I know when I was there when they arrested Nnamdi Kanu junior brother. He was arrested, Aloy, another one or two persons that was arrested. Now, for me, there's no, whatever they are going to arraign them, they just not them. They have not committed any crime. Expressing their constitutional rights, peaceful demonstration. That is exactly what happened.
Right.
So if they are taking them to court today, because they claim they are going to take them to court today, then they know what they are doing.
Okay, we just have to let detail. I'll give space for our Lagos activity to continue the discussion. I must thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on.
Thank you for having me. They should release those they arrested. They should release Nnamdi Kanu for peace to return in the southeast.
And I know the government is listening to that. We'll move over now to Joshua in Lagos for the continuation of the program this morning on night.